introduction for each of these individuals up here so you'll know who's who. And, excuse me, I actually remembered my reading glasses. Mike, yeah, we are because of that. Okay, this is...
Hello. First of all, I'd like to introduce you to this lovely lady here on my left, Irene McKinney. She is our state poet laureate. She's a fabulous poet. From all of us could learn a thing or 3 million, not just about poetry, but about writing, and certainly Appalachian writing, West Virginia writing. She has completed a memoir called Rank Stranger, and it's from Ohio University Press.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's forthcoming, and I'm really looking forward to it. And you've been reading pieces of it on West Virginia Public Radio, so do tune in to that to hear her. And welcome, Irene. Thank you for coming. To her left is Denise Giardina. She's an award-winning and celebrated West Virginia author of historical fiction, whose latest book, Emily's Ghost, is out now. About Emily. Next week? Okay, next week. The hardback is out. It's about Emily Ronnie. The hardback is out, and the paperback is out next week. Excellent. I just want to say just a little personal thing here. I wrote my master's thesis about Denise's book, Storming Heaven and the Unquiet Earth, and which I feel truly are masterpieces. They're absolutely fabulous. If you have not read them, find them. They're still in print. You'll love them. She also ran for governor on the Mountain Party ticket, and she teaches at WVSU, West Virginia State University, as writer-in-residence. Welcome, Denise. To her left is Danny Boyd. Danny is a filmmaker. Am I saying this right? Amateur wrestler? Was that right? Professional wrestler. Pardon me. And former bull rider. Okay, good. Former, yes, because we're glad we gave that up before you got smashed to pieces and stepped on big time. I've watched it on ESPN. And Danny's also writes graphic novels, which he's super excited about, and is very knowledgeable about writing graphic novels, and he's your go-to guy on that genre. He also teaches at West Virginia State University with Denise Giardina, and although they're in different departments. Welcome, Dan. Next to his left is Norman Jordan. Welcome. And a well-known award-winning poet and playwright. His latest book of poetry is Where Do People in Dreams Come From? That's a fabulous title. I love that. And other poems. And he's recently moved back to West Virginia from being away for a few years. Yes. From Tennessee. So welcome back. Welcome home.
Thank you.
To his left is Kirk Judd. I don't think anybody knows him here, but I'll, he's a charter member of West Virginia Writers, and he's a poet and a teacher of poetry. And if you were in the audience last night, you saw a sample of Kirk's performance poetry, and his beautiful rendition is a reminder to all of us, first of all, that poetry is meant to be spoken, it's meant to be said. And Kirk very eloquently demonstrated that last night. And thank you, Kirk, and welcome. To his left is Gretchen Moran Laskas. And Gretchen is the author of The Midwife's Tale and a Miner's Daughter, wonderful fiction. Gretchen is, as many of you know, if you've been in her workshop, she's a gifted speaker and entertains as she teaches us with her delightful, expressive, and down to the nitty-gritty talks. If you were lucky enough to be in her workshops, you know what I mean. So welcome, Gretchen. And last but not least on the end there is Tim Holland, who grew up in Ohio and now lives and works in southwestern Virginia, but we'll forgive you for not being a native West Virginian, because he is an award-winning novelist, short fiction writer, and poet, and he is the author of the novel The Safety of People Water, among many other works. Welcome, Tim. So we're going to open this panel session up with a question. This is the Appalachian-Inquisition, so we're going to be talking about all things Appalachian right now. And I'm going to open up with the first question, and you folks speak. There's a mic there, and the Appalachian voice still here? Is it dying, or is it evolving? And in your discussion, you may be speaking about what are the elements of an Appalachian voice, but think about the Appalachian voice. Is it still here? Is it dying? Or is it evolving? What are your thoughts on that? And I'm not going to test you. I'm not going to give points or grade you on this. So think, and I would like to hear your thoughts.
You want to go along in order here, or let people speak?
Well, yes, whoever wants to start.
Well, since I'm sitting here by the microphone, I definitely would say it's evolving. It's amazing to me all the different kinds of writing that are coming out of this region right now. There's a huge range of writing. So it's pretty hard to say that there's a Appalachian voice, I think. There are a lot of voices going on. It may be that they're all grounded in the same place, but they're all taking off in a lot of different directions. So I think we're living in an exciting time. Somebody told me there was a Chinese adage, it's actually a curse, may you live in interesting times, but we are living in very interesting times in terms of our literature. And the reason I agree with the evolving thing, if you look at the history of any other ethnic literature or any other regional literature, there are certain stages that it goes through. It has to be defensive for a while in order just to assert that it lives there on the land and needs to be acknowledged. But I think that we're well past that age of being defensive. And when people start talking in defensive terms, it feels very stale to me, very old and not very interesting. I think that what excites me most about literature from this region right now, that I think is evolving, is when two things come together, when two stories come together. The story of the past and the story of right now. And the tension and the friction that gets worked out between those two things are where literature really happens, in my opinion. I know in poetry, if there isn't that tension there, nothing much happens. It stays flat, the language stays flat, no matter what noble sentiments you might be expressing, they're boring. Because they're not powered by what's going on in actual human lives right now. And it's exciting in West Virginia and in Appalachia because we're in the middle of a lot of turmoil, economic turmoil and class turmoil. So I would definitely go for the idea of evolving literature